Hi, Mike Brantley, auctioneer. Are auctions essential to the economy? Are auctioneers essential? Let's start with this. What is essential? Well, it's absolutely necessary, needed. There's no alternative, and I do need it. And I think that's a tough argument for auctioneers and auctions, that they're absolutely necessary. In other words, essential. But why are we even talking about whether we're essential or not? And let me tell you why we're talking about it. With the coronavirus, COVID-19 pandemic, many governors have said, well, we're only going to allow essential businesses to stay open. And if you're not providing an essential service, an absolutely necessary service, then you can't be open. Now, some of those restrictions are lessening and loosening up, and we've got now some businesses that weren't considered essential now open. But that's not really the issue at all. The issue is we just don't have enough lobbying power. We don't have the connections as an industry to argue that we're essential. Many look at big box stores and say, well, this grocery store chain is open, this hardware store chain is open, these big box stores are open, they have big crowds, they're not doing much social distancing necessarily. In many states, many of us auctioneers who are real estate licensees can practice real estate essential, but auctioneering otherwise is not. Yeah, that's exactly what it is in some places. Well, why would real estate be treated any differently than auctioneering? Well, real estate licensees, real estate people, they have lobbying power. They have a lot of members, National Association of Realtors, state associations of realtors. Generally, licensees aren't necessarily realtors, but a lot of them are. And they have lobbyists, and they take people in the legislature to lunch and dinner and on golf outings and cruises and nightlife and all kinds of stuff. And what do those legislators remember when it comes time to decide if you can practice real estate or not, given a pandemic? Well, they say, well, gee, those folks took me to dinner, or more likely gave me a pretty healthy political contribution. We're going to deem those folks essential. And auctioneers didn't make the cut in many states. In fact, almost all states, auctioneers were not denoted as essential. Now, some auction facilities were deemed essential. What's the dividing line? Well, here again, it's lobbying, it's political contributions, it's knowing the right people, who you know, and are you helping them get elected? And when you help them get elected and you're on their team and you're contributing to their livelihood, they return the favor by saying, yep, you can open. But little old auctioneer out here in the country who's not part of that big conglomerate, can he or she have their auction? In many states, they still can't. And they're saying, well, I'm essential. Well, you're not essential where you need to be essential. You're not essential to that House or Senate member who needs political contributions. So I think we answered our question here, did we not? Are auctioneers essential? Is the auction business essential? If you want to be considered essential for this pandemic or the next pandemic, who needs to recognize that you're essential? Your legislature, your House, your Senate, your governor, your president. And if they recognize that you're essential by giving them money to clear their vision to some extent, then you'll be allowed to operate. And if you haven't given them any money, you're probably not going to make the list. Mike Brantley, auctioneer. Pleasure to be with you today. Other videos on this same page, others forthcoming. Have a great day and stay safe.